Okay, so number 13 in the video series, short 5-minute hints and tips on a content checklist for you to make sure that you are maximizing your content across many different platforms. So that's email, blogs, Twitter, your videos, your podcasts, anything else you're doing, but you're maximizing it for effect. You're doing it for sales and leads, that you're hitting your audience with the sort of content that they want, in the place they want it, in the format they want it. So in the previous videos, we have covered so much. We've covered the buying cycle. We've covered the type of blog, evergreen blogs, guest blogging, putting blogs together to make them into ebooks. I can't even remember. We've done 13 videos or 12 videos already. So now we're going to do a little bit about favorite type of content. So we've done structure and how to structure it and answering a problem, but now favorite type of content. So what's the public's favorite type of content? Amazingly, daily blogs. But these are more opinion journal piece type blogs. So more like a journal, sharing experiences, giving hints and tips on problem solving. So an example here is buying a home in France. Now, I've had 2 houses in France before, both in the south of France, one like a little beach house and one in an old town that was a renovation project, sort of a renovation project, then the beach house. But there are things that you don't even think about when you're buying a house in France. So a blog that was, all about somebody's journey buying a house in France that I hadn't considered. Someone was talking to me the other day actually about buying something abroad, and I said, well, just remember that one thing I hadn't considered, even though my French was okay on a conversational level, was sort of the amount of paperwork I get in French. Now, I don't mean when you have to sign to buy with the notaire, because you could have a translator there, and the notaire did his best to translate any particular stuff, and the estate agent actually was there as well to translate any stuff that we weren't aware of. But things like your electric bills and getting your internet connected is all French paperwork, and how they write things looks like a bill, but it could be a credit note, or it could be a credit note and it's actually a bill, and just opening and closing bank accounts and just stupid things like that I hadn't even really thought about when it came to buying a house. All I'd thought about was the actual paperwork for buying a house, not the everyday kind of running of it and, keeping it going and renting it out and all the rest of it. So a blog that was somebody else's journey and story that highlighted some of these problems and how to overcome them would have been awesome. Now, imagine if that blog is then attached to a service. Yeah, like, I will help you with this. I will sort this out. So you establish yourself as this expert through your daily funnies about living abroad or buying abroad and getting builders in and all the sort of funny stuff. But then imagine if it's also to buy services. Would you then start treating that person as an expert? Would you be interested in their advice and opinion and their help? My guess would be yes. My guess would be yes. But when I first saw this as number 16 in sort of, I think it was a list of over 50, but we haven't done all 50 because, to be honest, that would take forever. When I saw this as, I don't even know where this was placed actually, but I've placed it as number 16. In that order, it was like, wow, daily blog, scary stuff, until I realised what they were talking about. And then it's more like a journal. So if your journal could relate to what you know about and take people on a journey and be interesting and funny, then that's what they mean by daily blog, like a journal style that includes the reader in the process. Because just remember, it's not all about you. Just another reminder for the me ones. All those mindset unicorn rainbow people talk about themselves a lot. Anyway, moving on. Comparison guide. Another top blog style is a comparison guide. So here's one service, here's another, which is better? Yeah, it's a bit like Which magazine, which will tell you the best car buy of 2015 or the best smartphone or the best PC or whatever it is. Writing your own comparison guide, kind of cool. So you could either do one for different actual training exercises, comparing one against the other and which has what benefit and which one you would select in what circumstances. That would be an awesome guide. Comparison guide on I can't even think of any more. I was going to say on different ingredients, maybe in recipes, and comparing, you know, the fats in them or the carbohydrates in them and which you would choose and substitute. This one was for Rattan Furniture, which seems a bit odd, but it's linked to a furniture retailer. So, hey, guess what? It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Rattan Furniture can vary from anything from 350 quid for a set to up to well over 1,000, depending on the retailer. I would love to know, I actually would love to know the difference, what the difference is, because my set was like 350 quid and I've got a 3-seater, a 2-seater, 2 chairs, a large table and a coffee table. So I'd love to know what you get when you spend an extra £1,000 more, because it might have persuaded me to go for the slightly higher price one, you don't know. But if the comparison guide was with a furniture retailer and they're being really honest in that comparison in the strengths and weaknesses of the different brands or the waterproofing or whatever it might be, then I might well choose them to buy the furniture from, because they've been really helpful to me. They've helped solve a problem for me. They've helped solve a problem. And that's what it's about. So comparison guides are very, very popular. The other one that you don't do a lot of, which is number 3 in popularity, is product demonstrations. Now, I don't mean just having, you know, showing little testimonial clips of your clients working out at a boot camp, or a testimonial from your client. I mean an actual product demonstration. So you are demonstrating one exercise and describing good form for it, describing what it's working. Use the scientific terms. Do use the scientific terms, and then use layman terms, both together, because people love to feel more knowledgeable than they are. So if you do product demonstrations for different exercises and different pieces of gym equipment, and you use the scientific terms for body parts, and then you use the layman terms, they'll love you for it. Because when they go to a gym or they talk to their friends about it, they can use those scientific terms too, and that makes them sound super intelligent. Also, it establishes you as the expert. You are showing people how to do something. So therefore, who shows people, who demonstrates stuff? Oh, experts demonstrate stuff. Yeah? And who do we seek to buy from but the people who are experts? So that's 3 different, slightly longer today, but we went through 3 of the top style of blog content that you should be thinking about. Now, this content videos aren't all about blogs, but blogs do make up the majority of content that most people put out. So we've dedicated a bit of time to blogs, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.